Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Monday night webinar. If you could possibly give me a Y in the chat bar, just so that I know that everybody can hear me okay tonight, and we've not got any gremlins kicking around like we always do. Perfect, that's great. So looks like the internet's working tonight, which is absolutely fantastic. So tonight we actually have a special webinar. We have a guest speaker tonight. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We've organised this last week and I'm super excited. I know his story and it's absolutely brilliant. So please take notes, get a pen and paper, take some notes. Because this guy's got lots and lots of experience in this business and you're going to get lots of really good information tonight. It's absolutely excellent. First of all, I'm going to introduce myself to the people that don't know me. My name's Leanne Gilroy, and I run this business with my husband, Mikey. And we've been in the business now for just over 2.5 years, and we were in it for about a year or so to begin with before we started to take it really serious. Once we decided to get serious, we built the business really, really quickly, and we moved up to gold, which basically means that we had a team turnover of £9,000. And we did that within about 4 or 5 months of actually making a decision just to do it. We then went on to build the business, just continued to go really quickly with it. And within about the space of about 8 months, 8 periods, we built our way up to bronze executive in the business, which basically just means that we had a team turnover of £9,000, but so did another 2 people within our team. What then that actually gives you is a royalty or a residual income, which is absolutely fantastic. Over the last 6 months, 7 months, we've actually been relatively quiet actually in the business. We've had a baby a few months ago, Evie, and by building this business, what actually allowed us to do is take a little bit of time out and still have some money coming in, which has been absolutely fantastic. And the reality of the situation actually is now is I personally make more money working from home part-time around my 2 children and my family than I did full-time in my job before, which is absolutely fantastic. So the businesses can give you what it is that you're looking for if you work hard enough. And one of the first things that you have to do in this business is to really understand what it is that you have your hands on, because it's unlike any other opportunity out there. And the first thing you really have to do is understand what it is that you've got your hands on. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play a little video. Some people might have seen this already beforehand, but it's a really good one actually just to watch again. So if you have seen it before, then I would advise even just sit down and really watch it again, because you're going to get some really good information just now. So I'm going to stop waffling on. I'm just going to play it. It's about 4 or 5 minutes long, and then I'll come back on and we'll get on with the main course of the evening, which is our guest.
Hi, my name's Rob Foster. Now, what I want to do today is just run through very, very quickly and simply how we make our money with Clean Easy. In a nutshell, we make our money 2 different ways. One, from what we do ourselves with the catalogues or with the fantastic new online shop. And secondly, we make an income by helping other people get started in their own Clean Easy business and making an income for themselves. Right, if we just take step 1 here, let's say this is you and you do about £600 worth of orders in the month. Now, you could do that with your online shop. You could do that by giving catalogues to friends and family. You could do that by delivering catalogues in your local area. On that, you would earn around about £124. Okay, now just moving that along, what I want to show you now is how you can double that income, more than double that income, without doing any more yourself. If you take this as step 2, here's you. You've done about £600 worth of orders again, and on that you'll make the 124. You've now introduced your friend to the business perhaps. Your friend gets started. They order direct with Clean Easy. They look after their own account. And in a nutshell, your friend has started their own little version, their little franchise, if you like, of your business. They're now making £124, so they're happy and the business is working for them. You've also got somebody who's replied to one of your adverts. And we can show you very, very easy and simple to use adverts. And there's so many ways to advertise now, whether it be a little advert in a shop window, a little card or something like that you give to somebody, or the various different ways that we can advertise online now. So let's say somebody replies to your advert. This could be a chap from Newcastle, him and his girlfriend are saving up to get married, or whatever the reason is, they've started their own little clean easy business to make some extra money. Now, let's say they do £600 up in Newcastle, your friend in Doncaster or wherever, they've done £600, you've done your £600, so now you've got a little team total of £1,800. Now, the thing that's really important here is the link. Because you were the link that brought these people into the business, Clean Easy will recognise that each and every month. And in this tiny little example here, you've now made £124 on your own efforts. You've made £146 bonus now on the team total of 1,800. So you've now made £270, and you've actually done no more than you did in month one. Now, moving that on a little bit further, step 3, let's say now that you've got to a stage where you're doing about £1,000 in orders yourself, and that's quite simple. It could just be looking after about 25 to 30 customers who spend about £10. Well, if you've got 25 customers who spend £10 a week, and you've got that week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, you can see how easy it is to achieve £1,000 in orders. Now here, all what's happened is you've introduced your friend, your neighbour, your cousin, and a few other different people that have replied from adverts or whatever that might be. Let's assume that all of these people are doing about the same as you, about £1,000 worth of business each month. In fact, you could have somebody who's done about £500, and they've introduced a couple of people, and they've done 300 and 200. Collectively, it's still £1,000 in your team turnover. Okay? On this £1,000 that you've done, plus the £10,000 that your team done, that's an £11,000 team turnover. You'll now earn £1,234. Now, that's a full-time wage now for something that you're just doing in your spare time. And to be quite honest, it gets even better than that. Because let's say for one reason or another, you couldn't do your 1,000. It could be work commitments, it could be family commitments, or something happens, you could be away on holiday. Let's say one particular month you're unable to do anything yourself. Your team would have probably still done about £10,000 even without you. Well, on that £10,000, you'd still earn approximately £900 a month. And that's like a residual income, if you like, a royalty income based on not the work that you've done that month, but based on the volume and the sales, if you like, the orders that are going straight through to Clean Easy. Now, just moving it on another step. Let's say a couple of years down the road now, you've got a situation where you've still got about £10,000, £10,000 or £11,000 going on, just like you had in step 3. But 5 of the people that you've introduced, your friend, your neighbour, your cousin, or some people off adverts, have gone on to build up a team of their own, duplicating what you did in step 3. You might have somebody who's doing about £10,000 a month in their little team, somebody who's doing 20, another 10, 20. So you can see from this example, you could have about £11,000 going on, just like you did in step 3. But you've also now got about £70,000 going on in 5 bigger legs, if you like. We'll call these groups legs. In the 5 big legs that you've got, there's £70,000 worth of business. So now you've got a total business of 81,000, and the income that you'd receive on that from Clean Easy will be about £4,384 a month. Okay, now that's £57,000 a year, £57,000 a year as a residual income. The bulk of that is a residual royalty income. And to be quite honest, there's no limit to how far you can take that. Many, many people have achieved incomes like this. And I'm talking housewives, school teachers, truck drivers, engineers, fishermen, you name it. There's almost every occupation you can imagine that I've actually met or been involved with in the last 20 years who've achieved incomes like 50, 60, 80, £100,000 a year and way beyond. It's a very, very simple system, a very easy to operate, duplicatable system. It's certainly been the best decision of my life. In fact, I would recommend you get back to the person who sent you to have a look at this video, and they can answer any more questions that you might have. Get as much information as you possibly can from the person that pointed you here.
So there you go. There's that video. I think most people's probably have already seen that video, but it's just absolutely fantastic. And I think that's such a good video because it really kind of hits home the simplicity of this business, and it's just beautiful, isn't it? Because it's so simple, and I think that's what makes this business just so amazing. It's just the fact that you can actually build this business up part-time around all of your commitments until you reach whatever level you want in this business. And do you know what the good thing about it as well is the social part of it as well. You make such good friends in this business. They almost like become family, you know. So to me, the business is just amazing for all these different reasons. But I think it's just absolutely beautiful, the simplicity of it all. And I think that video kind of captures the essence of it really, really well. So moving on, I'm really excited about tonight. So we're going to introduce Kev Rider to you now. Now, Kev is a silver executive in the business. He's been in it for quite a while now, I believe. I'm not going to tell you a story because he's going to do that for himself. But please listen, please take some notes, okay? Because and really pay attention to what this guy's going to say tonight. Take it away, Kev.
Thank you, Leanne. Good evening, everybody. I want to start by asking you guys a couple of questions, so please feel free to interact and take part in the chat bar. Who of you joined this business because you wanted to make more money? Yeah, please feel free to comment. Who of you joined this business because you wanted to make more money? And who of you would like to have more time to spend that money? You see, possibly you're on here for the first time this evening. Some of you I know quite well. Some of you I don't know at all, but that I hope to change in the future and get to know you quite well. Possibly some of you are here for the first time this evening. This is your first webinar and you've no idea what to expect. Perhaps some of you have been in the business a little while and you've been on a few of these webinars and thinking, what new can I learn? What else is there to learn? Or perhaps some of you are here because you just enjoy the webinars and you just enjoy spending time with other people. It's like an online social activity. But for whatever reason you're here, wherever you join this business, hopefully tonight I'll be able to share some of my story with you and some learning and development that I've had along the way that will inspire you to get more out of this business that you have your hands on, more out of this business and realize what you have your hands on. You see, network marketing is a massive, massive industry. Okay, it turns over, as an industry, we turn over more turnover than the gaming, film and pop industries combined. And people think this is a little catalogue thing. Well, this is just the vehicle that we've chosen to drive. It is not the entire industry. We are part of the industry of network marketing, and our vehicle is Clean, Easy and K-Life. Some people choose FLP, Forever Living Products. Some people have chosen Juice Plus. But it doesn't matter what vehicle you've chosen to drive to get to where you want to be, i.e. having more money, having more time. It doesn't matter which vehicle you've chosen to drive to get there. Always remember that you're the person behind the wheel. You're the one driving it. So if it's a Ferrari, a bus, a jet, a plane, a motorbike, it doesn't matter what vehicle you've chosen, you're still the one driving that vehicle. So what I'd like to do is take you back quite a few years, just over 14 years to be precise. There I am, sat in my bedroom or laid in my bed, crying my eyes out, wondering what the hell I had done with my life. 27 years old, back in a single bed, back at my mum and dad's, walked out of a serious long-term relationship, £30,000 in debt, wondering what the hell I'd done. Now, I can't share with you any sob story about being abused as a child or mistreated or anything like that. I had a fantastic upbringing, but through some stupid choices, some stupid spending habits, without a mortgage, without a family and everything else, I'd got myself £30,000 of debt. So I'm laid in bed, crying my eyes out, feeling completely sorry for myself, shouting, why me? What have I done? What have I done to deserve this? I'm wondering how the hell, earning £1,000 a month as a driving instructor, I was ever going to clear £30,000 of debt. I wondered, what the hell am I going to do? If I earn £12,000 a year before taxes, I am going to have to work and not spend a penny for at least 3 years to even start to consider clearing that debt. Now, that just was not going to happen. I did not have a clue how I was going to get out of that. All I wanted was a family, a house of my own, to actually feel like I'd achieved something in my life and not be 27-year-old feeling sorry for myself, wondering what the hell I could do. Possibly, you may have been in a similar situation, or you may be able to relate to that, or know somebody who can relate to that feeling of having indefinite debt and wondering how you're ever going to get out of that. Well, it just so happened that the next day, or within a couple of days, my brother brought me home a little business card, and on that card it said, earn extra income working from home. He said, earn £300 to £3,000 a month in your spare time working from home. The first thing I did with that card, bearing in mind that maybe you responded to an advert on the internet, or perhaps a flyer through your door, or maybe you saw a little post-it note in a shop or something. But I responded to that card and I threw that card in the bin, because I said, who on earth is going to pay you £3,000 a month working from home? Now, it just so happened that the following day, my brother saw that card in the bin. He'd given me the card. He'd actually been walking around IKEA car park on his way back to his car. It had been raining. It was parked on the roof. And he stood on this card and it stuck to his shoe. And he couldn't get it off when he was checking his foot. So he actually pulled it off and read the card. And because of what it said, he knew my financial situation and he gave me that card. And the first thing I did, like I say, was throw it in the bin. That was when his back was turned. He didn't realise I'd thrown it in the bin till the next day. And then he saw it and he said, oh, Kev, I see you've thrown that card away. Did you give it a ring? Did you see what it were about? And I said, come on, Phil. Come on, don't be serious. I said, who on earth is going to pay you £3,000 a month and advertise on a piece of paper? Surely they'd have it on newspapers. Surely it'd be on the TV. Surely it'd be on billboards or something like that. Who on earth is going to pay you £3,000 a month? I went, I don't know. You never rang up. The best advice my brother ever gave me, and the only good advice my brother's ever given me, was to ring up and find out for myself. He says, you're not stupid. You're not an idiot. Find out for yourself. So I rang up. Couple of days later, I got a video. Yes, videos. We had videos back then. I got a video through the post, and it was like the opportunity video, what you get online now. And I watched that video, and I thought, these people must have worked their asses off. You know, I'm not looking for millions. I just want to make a few £100 a month. Let's see what it's all about. And I thought, you know what? If I can just make a few £100 a month, that'd start to make some headway on that debt that I owe. So I rang this guy up and I said, yeah, I want to find out more. Oh, sorry, I tell a lie. I didn't ring the guy up. The guy rang me. I had no intention of ringing the guy. The guy actually rang me. He followed up. So there's point one. Follow up on every single lead. Because just because they don't get back to you doesn't mean that they're not interested. So this student, 19-year-old, rang me up. He says, Kev, sent you some information. What did you think? I went, yeah, I'm interested. Come and show me what it's about. So he came to show me what we're all about. And I went, delivering and collecting catalogues, £200-300 a month? Nah, that's not for me. He says, yeah, but the catalogues are just a means to an end. I says, what do you mean? And those were the words I was looking for, means to an end. Because God, did I need a means to an end? Did I need a way out, a light at the end of the tunnel? And he said, it's not just about delivering and collecting catalogues. Here, let me show you. And he showed me the circles. And when I saw an opportunity how I could make £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 a month in a few years, because that was my imagination then, if I could do this in 5 years, that's far quicker than ever working in a job. Now, I didn't realise it at the time, but subconsciously I'd made the decision. And like Tony Robbins said on that video, when you make the decision and shoulds become a must, it becomes easy. I made the decision that I was going to give this 5 years. The most I'd ever earned in a job was £1,000 a month. Even working self-employed as a driving instructor, the most I'd ever taken home in a month was £1,000 a month. And I thought if I could take home £2,000 a month in 5 years, I'm far more successful than I'd ever be in any job that I've ever had before in history. And I'd been working from 13 years old. I was now 27 at this point. The guy showing me the business was a 19-year-old student with zits all over his face, and he was already earning over £1,000 a month from Clean Easy. He left university with no student debt and a Kawasaki motorbike. And I thought, if this little swine can do it, as much as a friend of me was, but my initial impression was, if this little sod can do it, I'm sure I can too. And I got stuck in. And in the first 6 months, in my first month, I made £233. In my first 6 months, I was making about £200 to £400 a month in, month out, but never really took the business that seriously. I had hopes, I had an idea, but I never really got stuck in. The penny hadn't really dropped. But after 6 months, I got a phone call from Alex, and he said, Kev, there's this seminar in a couple of weeks. It's called the Showcase. He says, why don't you come along? It's absolutely fantastic. 27-year-old, driving instructor, making a few £100 a month from Clean Easy, thinking, can I be arsed going all the way to Birmingham? Am I really that bothered to sit with a load of toffs in suits and stuff like that? It all sounds a bit corporate to me. I'm a driving instructor, a forklift truck driver, a squaddy, a soldier. This is what I did before driving instructing. I'm not a suit. I don't sit in an office. It's not my kind of thing. He says, that's what was going off in my head. But what he said was, come on, it's a right laugh. It's like going to a football match. We go down on a coach, we have a laugh, we have a drink at the back, we have a really good day there, you'll have lots of fun, you'll learn loads, and then we come home again and it's a really another good crack. And I'm like, ooh, football match. He says, we'll have some beers. I said, oh, I'll bring a crate of Stella. Yeah, come on. So there I am, a couple of weeks later, Sunday morning, turns up at the Holiday Inn in Brighouse, stands outside of this coach, and there I see Neil Young and a load of other people wearing shirts and ties and suits, and I'm there in ripped jeans, chabat, t-shirt, and a crate of Stella. Can you imagine how I felt when I turned up at that blooming showcase? However, cracked a few tinnies open on the back and soon chilled out and enjoyed myself. It was a really, really good day. But what I saw at that event opened my eyes to what I had my hands on. I saw people of all ages, all walks of life, all backgrounds, earning anything from £500-600 a month up to £20,000 every 4 weeks. 5,000 of them. Was it possible that they were all wrong? Were they all scamming people? Were they all con masters? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They were ordinary people like you and like me. And I thought, what I saw that day made me believe that if they can do it, I can do it. And that's the key, guys. It's what you believe. Because 6 months after that seminar, so exactly the same as the first 6 months, but 6 months later, same amount of time, my income went from £300-400 a month to £1,200 a month part-time. Had the catalogue changed? No. Had the opportunity changed? No. Had I moved house and gone to a different area? Absolutely not. So what had changed? I'd still got the same 24 hours a day. I'd still got the same amount of driving lessons. I'd still got exactly the same tools that I had when I started 6 months earlier. What had changed? What do you think had changed? It was me, guys. It was the way that I thought. It was the way that I believed. What I had seen made me work harder, work smarter, and with a completely different attitude to what I had had 6 months previous. So the only thing that had changed was the way that I thought. And because of the way that I thought, it changed the actions I applied. Tony Robbins on that video just said, when your shoulds become a must, that is when things will change. Well, your shoulds will never become a must until you change the way that you think, until you change your beliefs, until you change your desires. So I now currently earn over £3,500 every 4 weeks. That isn't to try and impress you, it's to impress upon you that when I answered that card and said, who on earth is going to pay you £3,000 a month working part-time from home, I never dreamt back then that I was going to be one of those guys paid £3,500 a month working from home. I didn't think it was possible. And just watch this space, because over the next 12 months, that's going to change. Me and Becky working together, we've got some fantastic goals, we've got some fantastic dreams, and we've just got, there's just nothing going to stop us. And just watch how our business grows. But it's not just going to be because we work harder or work smarter, it's because of all the training and development and learning that we've done along the way. Because it doesn't matter how hard you work, guys, until you change the way you think, nothing's going to change. If working hard was the answer, if working hard was truly the answer, just look around the people that you already know. The people you know who's worked hard all their lives. The people you know have given blood, sweat and tears to put a roof over your head, or you putting a roof over someone else's head, or grandparents, aunties, uncles, nephews, nieces, cousins, people you know that's worked their socks off, people you know that's retired. And if working hard was the answer, there'd be a lot of millionaires out there. And it's nothing to do with working hard. That's only 20% of the equation, guys. The other 80% is the way that you think. It's like for a diet to be successful, who's yo-yo dieted? Who's lost weight, put it back on, lost weight and put it back on? It's not to do with what you put in your mouth. It's all to do with what you put in your head. Okay? So let's move on with that, guys. Let me just bring up my presentation for tonight, because I want to talk about personal and professional development. The reason I want to talk about this is because it's this that made me grow as an individual, and as I started to grow, then the income started to grow. The biggest problem with people generally is that they want change. They want everything to change. They want a better life. They want more money. They want less hours. They want everything to change around them. But the biggest problem with people is that they don't want to change. They want everything else to change, but they don't want to change what they're doing, what they're thinking, what they're learning. Most people stop learning the day they leave school. I was one of them. I swore down I was not going to read another book. I am not going to sit another exam. I aren't going to do another test. And you know what happened? By the age of 27, I was £30,000 in debt. I joined Clean Easy. They tell me that I need to read books. I need to learn. I need to educate myself. I'm dyslexic. I hate reading. I hate writing. I asked Becky how to spell some of the simplest words because I just don't have the confidence in writing it down and sending it out myself. Spell checker is a godsend to me. Okay? But until I actually started to pick up a book or listen to an audio or attend a seminar, and I don't just mean Clean Easy seminars, I mean, it depends what you want out of this thing, guys. If you just want to make 50 quid a week, bang a few books out, that's a doddle. If you want to make 50 grand a year, if you've never earned 50 grand a year before, you're going to have to learn how to earn 50 grand a year. Do you remember when you used to walk around in your parents' shoes when you were a little child and they slopped off your feet and they didn't fit and you tripped up and you had fun running around chasing the dog in your dad's slippers or whatever? Well, one day you grew into those shoes. And this is the same. If you want to earn 50 grand a year and you've never earned that before, you need to grow into that. If you've already earned 50 grand a year and lost it all or whatever, quite often it's your financial thermostat. And I haven't got time to really go in and explain that. But if you want to understand that, read The Millionaire's Mindset. If you've had it all and lost it all, it's not because you don't know how to get it. It's because you probably, as hard of a pill this is to swallow, don't think you're worth it. And you will always bring yourself back to where you think you should be. Whether you lose it or whether you win it, you'll always get back to where you think you should be financially. That's why there's such a thing as yo-yo dieting. Because people will always get themselves back to where they mentally see themselves. Good example, just popped up in my head. Don't know if you can see that. That's me, 22 years old, in the army, all right, in Bosnia. You know when that picture was taken? People used to call me fat. I used to think I was fat. I looked in a mirror and thought I was fat. I look at that picture now to remind me that it's all in the mind, because there's no way I can look at that and actually agree that I was fat. But in my head, in my psyche, I was. And as soon as I left the army, I got back to where I saw myself. So it's all in the mind, guys. So, personal development. I want you to have a quick look at that. Right, what did that say, guys? Can anyone tell me what that said? For those of you, I'll flash it back up and take it down again. Okay, well done, guys. Okay, thank you for your honesty. Thank you. Right, just to show that we are negatively programmed. Well done, Susan, because to some of you, it said opportunity is nowhere. And to some of you, it said opportunity is now here. Now, that doesn't mean you're right or wrong. It's just that sometimes we see things for the negative or we can see the positive. Now, that's because of the way that we grow up. That's a defense mechanism. Always be afraid. Be afraid of things because it might hurt you. It might upset you. It might cause you pain. And everything we do is based on a simple decision. Everything we do, down in its basic form, is whether it's going to give you pleasure or give you pain. We will do far more to avoid pain than we ever will to gain pleasure. Be aware of that. That's just normal. Okay? So, opportunity is now here. This all comes up at once, guys, because it's normally on a PowerPoint presentation, but it's all going to come up at once. So I apologize, but I'll go through it. So why to versus how to. Thousands of people in cleanings know how to build a business, and yet they don't still do it. Okay? So quite often it's easy to know how. We can give you all the how in the world, but people still don't do it. Why? Because it doesn't matter how much belief you have in the company, how much belief you have in the products, the industry, the catalogue, the online selling, whatever it is you're doing. If you don't believe in yourself, you'll go nowhere. Now, I've heard people say that they've stood at seminars and heard people stand on stage and say, you need to believe in yourself, you need to believe in yourself. And they then turn around and said, that's BS. You don't have to believe in yourself, because if I believe in you enough, you can do it anyway. Well, I'm going to tell you that's BS. Because it didn't matter how much I believed somebody could drive a car. If they didn't believe they could drive it, they never would. And I could tell them, I believe in you. I think you can do it. I know you're brilliant. You will pass your driving test. But if they still didn't have that glimmer of self-belief that we could build on, they were going nowhere. So if you have no self-belief, don't worry about it. We can work on that. But you've got to have a desire. You've got to start to think, do you know what? Possibly, just maybe I am good enough. Maybe I can do this. Maybe it is my time. Okay? Because if someone else has achieved it, then you can achieve it too. If someone else has got it, then you can have it. If you're physically fit, if you were born just the same as everyone else, in fact, there's people born with far more challenges than you've ever had, and they've still gone on to become successful. Self-image and self-belief, where does it come from, guys? Well, believe it or not, you're born with only two fears. The fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. These are protection mechanisms, things to stop you getting hurt as a child. Okay? Those are there, and those are the only two things that you're born with. Everything else is programmed into your brain, just like you program a laptop or program a computer. Now, it can be bad programming, false programming, bad experiences that you wrongly interpret, such as bad relationships, you can blame all men then for being the problem when it was that man. Or you can blame all women for whatever problems you want to blame them for. But is it all women or just that one woman? You see, we could tar everybody with the same brush, but that's bad programming. But we'll come into that another day. So the constant negative programming by significant others. So who are significant others? Well, till you start coming in contact with other people, your main significant others are your parents. And it's their beliefs that was given to them by their significant others and passed on through generation and experience. That's why the old world believed the world was flat until someone went, do you know what, I'm going to challenge that belief. I think it's round. And they nearly hung that person for having such a stupid idea. But now, if you went and argued that the world was flat, they'd think you were stupid because we now know it's round. So beliefs are not truths. It's important you understand that, guys. Beliefs are not truths. It's a belief. It's not necessarily the truth. So when someone says you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're too old, you're too young, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too short, you're too tall, whatever it is, that is just a belief. Because if you look around you, there'll be someone else with those labels that have gone on and achieved great success in exactly the same thing you're looking at. Past references and experiences. So that's not just your experiences, that could be your parents, your teachers. And then you've got your friends that you associate with and their experiences and their friends. You see, you listen to those that you love and trust. Or somebody that you believe is an expert. You go to hospital, you have the dreaded big C, or you know someone with a big C. My dad, here we go, we'll talk about myself and my own experience. My dad, a few years ago, came home and told us all they had testicle cancer, okay? He told us then that he had 2 years left to live. And I said, why on earth did the doctor tell you that? And he said, he didn't, I asked. And I went, why did you ask such a stupid question? He says, what do you mean? I says, nobody has the right to tell you when you're going to die. That's up to you, not somebody else. But because some significant other that my dad trusted and believed in, i.e. a doctor, he accepted the verdict. And pretty much within the amount of time specified, my dad passed away. Now, you'll hear stories like that all over. But you'll also hear stories of people that won't accept that verdict, that don't listen to the significant other, and they determine their own date and time of death. And it just happens to be many years after the doctor specified it. And you'll hear all sorts of stories like that, guys. So be very careful what you listen to. Stand guard at the door of your mind, okay? Your best friend can poison your coffee, all right? It don't mean they intend to hurt you, but quite easily they could knock something into your coffee and poison it. Imagine your coffee is your mind. Be careful what you let into it, because even your bestest friends, those that love you, can poison the thoughts in your head if you allow them to. So what can you do about it? What can you do about it if somebody is being negative, or you're listening to the whinging and whining and moaning and groaning of other people, or you've got limiting beliefs from the past or past experiences? Well, learn from other successful people, okay? Go and attend the trainings, the webinars, the Zoom calls, the seminars, not just Clean Easy. There's other ones out there as well. Tony Robbins, Danny Johnson. There's a fantastic seminar coming up on the first weekend of March, which is the 4th and 5th of March. And I've put a post in the 10 Steps team. If you're not in the 10 Steps team Facebook page, get Leanne or Mikey to add you into that, okay, guys? Because there's a free event that weekend. Yes, it's at the Excel Centre in London. Is there anything in it for me to promote it? No, absolutely not. Am I going? Unfortunately not, because I'm at a similar seminar the weekend before, okay, that I've been invited to, and I'm going there instead. But get along, see what you can learn. See what you can learn from other people that have what you want. Because the best advice I got in this business was from Neil Young, and he said, don't take financial advice off people that are skint. If somebody has what you want, then listen to them because they have it and you want it. If somebody's giving you advice but they don't have what you want and they don't even follow their own advice, why on earth would you listen to them? It doesn't make sense. If somebody lives in a shed and they're telling you how to do property investing, would you listen? Or would you listen to somebody that's made thousands out of property investing and listen to their advice? Okay? So be careful who you listen to. My dad said, clean easy, you don't want to do that, that'll never work. Okay? Even though I love my dad to bits and he's always been supportive of me, his first initial reaction was, be very careful, Kev, people lose a lot of money at that. Do you know what? The only money this business has ever cost me were the first 100 quid that I spent to get started, and I made that back in 10 days. And then everything else has been an investment ever since. I've paid thousands on my education. And I don't mean a formal education like university, because all that would ever get you is a job. All right. I've spent fortunes on learning how to be financially free, on how to build a financial wall around my family and my loved ones that nobody else can ever knock down. And that's what I'm working on today. That's what me and Becky are working on today. Security. Reprogram your mind, guys. Imagine your mind is a glass of dirty water. Imagine that all the negativity that's ever gone in there has clouded that clear liquid, and it's now like sludge. Can you replace a glass of dirty water? Of course you can. If you pour enough clean water in, eventually the dirty water will wash out. And you'll be surprised how much of an impact it has pretty much straight away, as long as you're listening to the right stuff. So reprogram your mind. Pour some clean water in there. Training calls. Read good books. If you don't like reading, get Audible. Audible is a fantastic app that you can have on your phone. For $7.99 a month, you can get a book every single month and listen to it. I have hundreds of the things now. I have nearly 100 of the things now. They're brilliant. I love listening to them. All right. So listen to those. They change the way that you think. Listening to successful people, and by taking action, you'll change your results and in turn improve your confidence. Okay. So take action and see the results, and you'll improve your confidence. It's no good waiting for the results before you take any action. That's what most people do. Well, when it works, I'll work harder. When my boss pays me more, then I'll do more. It doesn't work like that, guys. When you do more, then you'll get paid more, and not before. Okay? You can demand a pay rise, you can go on strike, but you don't get rich by demand, as Jim Rohn says. Okay? Program your mind. You see, the natural course of things, this is what happens, and you can think it through for yourself and you'll know I'm saying the truth. Because what's your thoughts? Everything starts as a thought. Everything around you, before it was manufactured, before it was produced, before it came into existence, was a thought. So what's your thoughts? Because they become words. So the first caveman sat on his rock, thought, do you know what? This is bloody uncomfortable. I'm going to design something to sit on. And he told his mates about it. Do you know what? These rock things, they're a bit hard and cold. Let's think of something else that we can sit on. Watch your words because they become your actions. So he started telling his mates about it. Then he started banging sticks together and putting leaves together and one for another. Watch your actions because they become habits. So he made his first chair. Then he started to make multiple chairs. And watch your habits because they become your character, because he became known as the chairman. Okay? And watch your character because that becomes your destiny. So everything starts as a thought. It then becomes it becomes words, you talk about it, it then becomes your actions, and if you do it often enough, it'll become your habits. And your habits define who you are, and they become your destiny, guys. So be careful what you think about, because it all starts as a thought. Who's already managed to change? Who do we know? Well, some of you may know these people. Some of you that's been around a while definitely know these people, and the rest of you will eventually learn who these people are. Gavin Scott, shipyard engineer, £200,000 a year. Used to climb up cranes to service them in the winter, now earning a millionaire's lifestyle. Bob Webb, ex-English teacher. Rob Foster, shipyard blacksmith. Neil Young, ex-insurance broker. Abigail Coakley, single mum. Kev Rider, myself, failed driving instructor. No, I was good at teaching people how to drive. I was crap at running a business, guys. I had no financial management. So there's another thing. It doesn't matter how much you earn. You could win the lottery, but most lottery winners end up skint. Don't become a skint lottery winner. You have better odds than anybody playing the lottery. Far better odds than anybody playing the lottery. But unless you change your financial management plan, unless you change the way you think about money, unless nothing will change. Just like if you don't change the way you think about food, you'll still put on weight, you'll still get back to where you mentally see yourself, regardless of what you eat. There's just a few, so these are just a few people from Clean Easy, but look at the bigger picture. Look at all the rags to riches stories. Richard Branson. I'm not going to go through famous people because I'm crap with famous people. As far as I'm concerned, they're not famous. I don't think they're anything special. I just think they have a fantastic way of thinking and a desire to be successful. And anybody can do that. Okay? It's about changing the way you think. So what areas do I recommend that we work on? First of all, self-image. And a great book for that is Psycho-Cybernetics. It's not the easiest of reads, and I believe it is a read. I don't think it's on Audible. Excuse me, but that's a brilliant book to listen to read. Psycho-Cybernetics. Don't ask me who it's by. I can't remember, but it's all about self-image, and it's written by a plastic surgeon who found himself changing people's physical image all the time, thinking they'd look better, but inside they still felt ugly. Okay, so it just goes to show your outside world will always be a reflection of your inside world. Business knowledge. You've got to study the industry you're involved in. Whatever background you've come from, whatever line of work you've been involved in before, you will have had some form of training. You'll have gone on courses, or you'll have been given basic training by somebody, by Maxwell Maltz. Well done, absolutely. Cheers, Tom. Maxwell Maltz it is, I think. Some business knowledge, guys. You need to study the industry. This is a fantastic industry. Your industry is not Clean Easy. It is network marketing. It is not pyramid sales. That's illegal. All right. I am not a con man. You are not con people. We are not in the pyramid sale business. And if anyone says you are, just say, oh, what's pyramid sales? Because they won't be able to explain it because they haven't got a blooming clue themselves. It's something else they've heard, and it's another limiting belief. Books about wealth, Richest Man in Babylon, Millionaire's Mindset, stuff like that. Okay. Relationships, guys. Your product in this business is people. We need to learn about people more than anything else, because it's people and relationships that make this business grow. And if book that I'm recommending at the moment is Appreciation Marketing. How many of you has ever received a thank you card with a business card in it, or somebody send you a message saying, hey, great to see you, not spoken to you in years. By the way, how's the family, how's the kids? Have a look at my business opportunity. That's called chocolate-covered shit, all right? That is just chocolate-covered crap. If you want to find out about somebody, spend your time finding out about them, not trying to sell your opportunity, not trying to get them to buy your product, not trying to get them in. If they love you and care about you, they already know what you do if you've let them know what you do. And if they know that you're sincerely interested in them, they will come and buy your products anyway. They will come and join your opportunity when the time is right for them. Let them know what you do, but don't try and sell them your opportunity because they're not interested. All right? Relationships with people, spiritual. All right, some of you may be religious and some of you may not. Some of you may have a spiritual side or may not. Some of you may believe in the law of attraction. Some of you may not. However, it is the law of attraction. Whether you believe in it or not, it still works. Because if you don't believe in it, you're exactly attracting what you don't believe in. And if you do believe in it, you're also attracting that. So work that one out. Recommended reading and listening. Okay, to start with, we recommend you read Go Pro by Eric Worre. Okay, this book, it used to come in your kit, not anymore. Read the 9 next core books advertised in the 10 steps, and after that, speak with your successful upline and find out what they're reading. Okay? Read what's right for you, listen to what's right for you, experience what's right for you. But guys, if you haven't got what you want, there is a reason behind that. And quite often, there's baggage that we're carrying around. We don't think we're good enough. We don't think we're worthy. We don't deserve it. We did something wrong in us past, or it's the way we were brought up, or it's what our parents told us. Yes, a lot of that could be not true, but that could be a belief. But unless you change those beliefs, unless you find some other reference where you say, do you know what, that's not true. I can do it. I've done it here. Find positives in your past. In fact, an exercise for you all tonight is sit down and write down 5 things that you're proud of and recognize yourself for it. Go, yeah, I achieved that. I did that. Not anybody else. I did that. And it could be something so simple like swim a mile, pass a maths test. It could be anything that you're proud of. Might be having your children or helping your children achieve something. But give yourself some praise because you deserve it. And we don't praise ourselves enough. We all expect other people to love us. But how often do we actually love ourselves? Because unless you love yourself, how can you expect someone else to love you? You see, a lot of people think it's do, have, and be. If I do the work, I'll have the things, and I'll be like that person over there. If I go out and build a load of houses, I'll have a load of money, and I'll be like that brilliant property investor guy over there. No, because until you are like that brilliant property guy investor or that brilliant network marketer, until you act like that person and think like that person, you'll never do what that person does. So you'll never have what that person has. So it's all about being the person first. Then you'll do the things. Then you'll have what they have. Okay? And I'll leave you with that, guys. And thank you very much. It's now 5 to 10. I hope that's been a help. And I wish you all a fantastic evening and every success with your business. And I'd like to thank Leanne and Mikey for asking me to share what I can share with you tonight in the time that we've got. So thanks very much, guys. And now really is the time.
Wasn't that absolutely fantastic? Thank you so much, Kev, for what you've done there tonight. It was absolutely priceless, actually. People, I think, spend thousands of pounds just to get that information, and we got it all there, I think, in like 45 minutes. As you can see, Kev is like a book of knowledge. He's like a fountain of knowledge. He just goes on and on and on, and it's just absolutely amazing. He talks from the experience. So thank you so much. We really do appreciate you coming on and speaking with us tonight. So I hope everybody got some really good notes there, but there was a common theme that kind of kept occurring there, wasn't it? Which is your mindset. So maybe you need to be asking yourself, what sort of mindset do you have at the minute? Is it positive? Is it negative? If it's negative, what do you need to do to change that? There are so many ways to help yourself, but you need to want the help, yourself to do it. So think about what you can do to improve your mindset if that's what you need to be working on. So we definitely do recommend that you do read the 10 core books if you haven't done so already. That's going to get you off to a good start in terms of your frame of mind, because that's the key, is actually believing in yourself and believing in the industry. Exactly what Kev said there, that is the key to having success in this business. Personal development is the thing that holds everything together in your life, actually, in your business especially. One of the things as well that we recommend that you do is what Kev says, associating with the correct people in this business. If you hang around with negative people, you're going to be negative. So what you need to do is get yourself around the positive people, the successful people in the business. And we've actually got really easy ways of doing that. We have workshops every single month that you can go to meet people who are successful, learn about this industry, learn how to be successful in this industry. So it's highly recommended that you go. And these are the ones that are coming up. So please If you're not already booked in, please book in because it's just really vital that you do so. So we've got the Yorkshire one, and that is on Sunday, the 26th of February. So if that is your local one, please get booked in as soon as possible. Get lots and lots of good information there. We've got the one in Bristol, that is the 4th of March. If that's your local one, please get booked in. Full information is available on the 10steps.info of locations, etc. But think about this as an investment into yourself and into your business. Think about exactly what Kev said. You're not going to, if you want everything to change, you're going to have to change. Then we've got the Scotland one with myself, Nike, Laura, and that's this Saturday in Dalkeith, up in Scotland. Very, very small investment, Laura, you're right. We've got the South East one with Luke Hailstone, that's Saturday the 4th of March. Then we've got the Birmingham one, that's Sunday the 19th of February, so please get booked into that if that is your local one. And when we say local, by the way, if you have to travel like 2-3 hours in a car to get there, that's still local to you. Okay? Don't think about the distance that you're needing to travel. Think about the investment and the information that you're going to get from it. The full information is at the www.the10steps.info. Okay? On there you'll see lots and lots of good information, but there you'll be able to go and get booked into your workshop. So we're going to wrap it up because that's almost 10 o'clock, but I just want to thank Kev again for coming on and speaking tonight. I'm sure he's helped lots and lots and lots of people on this webinar to realise what they need to do to move their business forward. So we're going to wrap it up now. We've got another webinar which will be on Wednesday night. That's a different link on the 10 Steps Facebook page. So hopefully we can all try to get logged into that one on the Wednesday one as well. Try and make that a habit along with the Monday night one. So that's like kind of double the information in the week, which is absolutely fantastic because we're going to double everything really in this business in terms of your knowledge for webinars. So you've got a Monday at 9 o'clock and you've got Wednesday at 9 o'clock as well. So we'll see you then. And that's everything. So good night, guys.